are back with our second episode of season 7. And we are going to be talking about this organization called Raave DFW. And I have Audrey here. How are you, ma'am?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you for allowing me to be on your platform. Really appreciate it. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you on here. Like, ever since you reached out to me about your organization, I love everything that you're doing. You're standing up for kids with autism. So, for our viewers out there, can you tell them your social media, where to find you at if they have any questions?
Yes, it's Rave with two A's, RAAVEDFW, on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And it stands for Raising Autism Awareness Through Volunteering and Events. So RAAVEDFW. So
I love
across all
that.
platforms.
About your organization, what drives your passion behind what you're doing?
So what drives my passion really is my mom. She's one of the sweetest people that I've ever known. And she worked with children, social worker as well. And it's a disservice for me to not spread that love and knowledge that she's given to me. And then secondly, it would be I love children, I have a passion for it. And not only that, but I'm actually good with them. If I could have been an systems engineer and into IT or something like that, that would have been great. But my passion was with children. And I kept running into behavioral issues or children with autism, and I didn't have the skill sets what to do or how to handle it. And I really wanted to help. If this kid's slapping me and this kid's pushing this kid down, I'm kind of like, what do we do? Can't do corporal punishment. There's got to be something out there to help these children with behavioral needs. And that's how I got into becoming a registered behavior technician at a
Mhm.
behavior clinic. And then my goal there was like, oh, let me go to the school district and let me spread this expertise that I have to all the teachers and everyone so we can all be aligned. And then I learned there's a lot of systems in place in the school setting and everything. But through there, I was able to learn a lot, use my speech background, my behavior background, also learn a lot of occupational therapy. But then I saw the problem was the connection between, since I worked in the behavior clinic and the speech clinic, and now I'm in a school setting, I saw the disconnect within the community. So, how you are in a clinic, that's like a stage environment, and then how you
Mhm.
are in a school, they may be just a specialized unit. Or you may be inclusion where you pushed in and you're just sitting there. Like, how do you truly get acclimated to your community? Like, how does the clinic apply to a birthday party? You're unable to go to the movie theaters. Like, what can we do to bridge that gap? Parents take a lot of things for granted, going to the movie theaters, going to water parks, going to birthday parties. And I saw that in my own children in my classroom, and parents would be sad missing quinceañeras and stuff like that. And I'm just like, that's really sad, like I can help you, apply these skills within the community. And so that's my mom, and then just seeing that need because how
Mhm.
special is it to be able to take your child to the movies? Like those are normal things, extracurricular activities, having like a typical childhood and having access to that.
Mhm. Absolutely. And you are very right about that too. So there is that need, there is that disconnect because a lot of people, especially like kids, parents with kids with autism, like they struggle to go out to restaurants. They struggle to go out to eat. They struggle to take their kid anywhere because they're just afraid of the world judging them for their kid because my experience with autistic children is that they do have their tantrums, they do see the world a whole lot differently, so someone may see that the kid is like out of control, but really what it is, they're overstimulated, like they're by their environment. And mom and dad's usually just trying to do some grocery shopping. They're not trying to get lectured on how to be a parent or something like that. They're really trying their best. So, and then the school, most of the time, if there's a child with autism, they have them in their own little classroom, but they're not really socializing with their environment. So, but you're bridging that gap. You're bridging that need for them to be in that social environment where they can actually be with other kids. So, tell me how do you get these events organized? Like, how have they been working for you?
I want to backpedal on something you said. One thing, schools do push the kids with their typical peers. However, they don't, the kids sometimes don't have the skill sets to interact with their peers both ways, the kids with autism or the typical developing peers. So a lot of times they just kind of sit there, you know?
Mhm,
And so what we do is we create events to have access. So the kids with autism can
mhm,
engage with their typical peers, and their typical peers learn to actually how to include them. And so we do this through camps. We have an event coming up at Chuck E. Cheese or Easter egg hunt. We do sensory pop-ups. And so, for example, our camps, we'll do like a third of kids with autism and then like maybe two-thirds that don't. And so we'll partner them up and blend together so they can work together and learn. The children with autism can learn like their social skills and what their peers say and how they actually engage. Because I know when I was in the school district and I had a child finally go to gen ed for the first time, she was like, there's a like there are kids that don't scream or throw tantrums, like they're sitting down at a desk and they're doing this like without all the accommodations. So a lot of times they don't have that exposure. And but the camps, I always strategically plan it like, okay, here's a peer buddy, and then also my volunteers, some of them have autism and
mhm,
some of them are typical developing as well. And so that also gives the teenagers or the older kids with autism the opportunity to be a peer buddy. So sometimes I'll have them help out with the younger ones, and or they'll help set up with cleanup, setting up the arts and crafts or whatever activities we have. And I'll actually kind of pair them with a typical peer buddy so they can learn those functional skills and how to be in charge. Because a lot of times they aren't the ones in charge. Like they're usually the ones that has a buddy when they're in school. And so that also helps the typical like teenage peers or older kids, how they can actually engage and talk to children that do have autism.
mhm,
One event we had at Chuck E. Cheese, there was a girl that was in a wheelchair, and the other little girl was, typical developing, and she was nervous, like she was scared. She wasn't mean. So sometimes inclusion doesn't mean that we're being mean and we're teasing you. It's just like we don't know how to include you. And so I was
mhm,
like, just go ask her, tell her your name, ask her your name and ask her name, sorry, and then tell her your name like you would anyone else. And I'll even have some peer buddies like, go play with that kid. And it hasn't set up like that's your buddy for the day. Like follow them around, talk with them, engage with them like you would anyone else. And so I'm just giving them access to the community through these events and yeah, strategically planning it and kind of bossing them around. Like, hey, you go talk to this peer. That's your buddy for
mhm.
today.
And you've had quite a few success stories with your volunteers, right? So you were telling me about that the other day. You had one person who was like, she came in to experiment it, and then she's like, "Now I want to stay and help out." So tell me about that.
Yeah, so I never thought my level of volunteers would get to where it was at. Like, of course, I was like autism, and I was like, people in the community, such as bad teachers and whatnot. But I've also realized, like, sometimes there's some youth that have a little bit of trauma, but they're like on the right track. And so, like, I have one kiddo, for example, both parents are gone now, and this child was in middle school when all this happened, but they're in National Honor Society and all that stuff. And so, it's good for this kiddo because they're a part of the community now, and they have a sense of belonging. And so maybe their home foundation isn't that strong, but they're on the right track. And now they have a community where they belong and want to be back. And my assistant this particular kid like latched on to my assistant and their family, and it
Mhm.
was just great. And I'm like, that's awesome because I never thought that it could open up the doors just for, typical kids that maybe have a little trauma, but they're on the right track, but yet they need that belonging and that accountability. And like, yes, when can I come back? When can I help? Because studies have shown that when you are just on the receiving side of like getting, assistance, whatever it may be, because obviously, your parents are both dead, you qualify for a lot of different things. But to be able to be on the giving side, it gives them a different type of feeling, and it could also potentially break a potential cycle. And so you're giving them community, belonging, and kind of keeping them on that right track because they're already there, and it's such a sensitive time for teenagers and to deal with trauma like that. And then it
Absolutely.
also gives me time to actually indirectly mentor as well. And
Mm.
I enjoy that part too, because I'll be picking up volunteers and it gives me time to be like, I know you got in trouble for this, that probably wasn't the best situation. You could have avoided it. And like now look at the consequences that you're dealing with because of it. And so it's like a full circle for me. It's helping the autism community and then just typical peers. Because at the end of the day, I want everyone to be a functional member of society. So whether you have autism, whether you are typical here and just have some trauma that's happened, I just want you to be able to be functional. And then
Mhm.
um and then I also had adult volunteers like, when are you doing this again? And she has her son, this particular lady has her son as well. She's like, when are you doing this again? We're there. And I'm like, you enjoy it? Like that means so much to me because I'm only one person to spread kindness. So when others want to get involved and they want to come
Mhm.
back and show up, like that is amazing. If anyone also, if you want to volunteer your time and help out, please do because I love having volunteers. And the more volunteers we have, the more awareness we're actually spreading. Because you can wear
Mhm.
t-shirts all day long. I can talk here all day long, but you being in that community and seeing it is spreading awareness.
Absolutely. And I agree with that. So, for all of the viewers out there, can you please explain to them like what autism is and why it's so different from normal thinking?
Okay, so at the core of it all, autism is a social disorder. So what
Mhm.
we see as socially appropriate to them, they don't see it as social appropriateness. So, for instance, like digging in your nose constantly. I know kids do it, but eventually they break the habit. But kids with autism a lot, it's like, well, it doesn't matter. Like this is normal to me. And so why it's hard or different for parents, instructors, anyone to learn it is because you come out of the womb, we know you don't know your ABCs. We know you don't know how to do algebra. We know you know how to swallow and breathe, and we expect you to learn social norms. So it is very hard to comprehend, like, oh, they don't know, like, that, I should sit down when a teacher's talking, or I wave hi to friends. That's a normal thing. A lot of times, I like to call it autism land because and we'll get into my book, but they see the world from a different perspective. And so, one particular kiddo, I was talking to a parent recently, and they're saying that like their child sees when they see the wall or like behind me, they see every single little ridge. So every little mark, every little ridge, and that can lead into the sensory overload because they're seeing
Mhm.
so much more than what we're seeing. And so, yes, it's a social disorder, but also can, and a lot of times does come with a lot of sensory issues. And so the problem is the world wasn't prepared for that. We were prepared for you to know how to talk, to know how to wave and reciprocate greetings. One of the first signs is like a 9-month-old child like responding to their name or responding to a loud sound. So for example, you slam a door, most babies sorry, most babies will turn around. But a lot of kids with autism, they're in their own world, maybe hyper focusing on the ridges of the wall or hearing the air conditioning run. And they're in their own world because it's like hyperactive to where
Hmm.
they don't really hear what's going on in our world.
Right.
And so,
That's true. They're more keen to textures, and they do. I want people to understand that autistic people, they actually are super super smart, and they pay attention to a lot more details than we do. Like there are some forms on the spectrum, like different levels on the spectrum, where they're actually so intelligent that they bypass normal thinking because they're autistic. So they're actually using a different part of their brain that most people don't use because they are so hyper attuned to their environment or what they're focusing on. Like you know, if they have like I met quite a few young ones that were one of them was super focused on trains. He could tell you everything about trains. He could tell you about the model, the color, what type of, system it used, like how many cars it could actually line up on
things that we don't
the
even
train.
know about trains. Like,
Yes. Or buildings, like architecture, like you may meet someone who's autistic who's like so hyper attuned to um learning about architecture. They tell you everything about architecture because that's their fascination. Like they are super focused on certain things.
working, yes. And that's
Yeah.
the
And
hard, I won't say it's the hard part, but sorry. That's the motivational component. It's like they're motivated by that train or they're motivated because they love architecture. And so that's the hard part is getting them out of that and teaching them like, okay, the trains are cool, but we need to focus on this. And so the hardest part, I guess, would be is like getting them motivated to not hyper focus on that and maybe using that as a reward. So, hey, let's work on this for 10 minutes and then you can watch training videos or, trying to find that motivational factor. Because I had one of my friends, her child has autism and she can find candy anywhere. I have another kiddo, he can go and find soda when he's motivated, when he wants to. But to do the social norm, it's the motivational component. Like, yes, this particular child can talk. Yes, we can request, but we don't want to because it's a social disorder. We'll request soda because that's what I want. That's what I'm motivated by. But if I tell you to say hi, what's your name? It's like, maybe. And I was like, okay, are we working for soda today? Are we working for the dinosaur? Are we working for the train? And it's like, okay, we're working for the train. So what's your name? And then my
Mhm.
name is Audrey. He's like, good job. And then you get your reward. It's like finding that motivational component because they could a lot of times care less, hyper focused on what they want, that soda, that chocolate, that train, the buildings. Like I helped someone potty train actually over the phone and typed up notes. And his parent was just like, I don't think she gets it. Da, 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 da. I'm like, no, she gets it. She's just not motivated because socially, a typical child, once they learn and they know how to do it because that's social norm.
Mhm.
But the autism and social parts, like, why I gotta use it in the body? Like, why does that even matter? And it's like, so we have to make you care about it. So I think this kid, the motivation was, believe it or not, I think barbecue sauce for a while when it went potty. And then that was the motivation. And then other times it was like Reese's Pieces.
Mhm.
So that was the motivational pattern. Like we understood how to go to the bathroom. We just didn't care to because why? Why should I
Yeah.
care? I'm in my own autism land and it's working out for me. I don't care what you think. I don't care how you guys do it. So our job is to like make them care through like reinforcement.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So for our viewers out there, I hope you guys are like learning a whole bunch about all of this stuff about autism. I'm very passionate about it. I do have some autism relatives that, they've taught me a lot over the years about just how they perceive life. So Audrey, I just want to tell you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being on my podcast today. And I really want to get some more awareness about your events. So, can you tell our viewers about the two upcoming events that you have?
Yes, actually, it's turned into three. But so March 1st, we are having an Easter egg extravaganza at Chuck E. Cheese in Garland. Um, it's during Sensory Sunday at 9 a.m. And so I know a lot of people have told me, like, Chuck E. Cheese. But when it came to the sensory friendly event, they're like, oh, this is calm and all that. So I chose that. It's unlimited pizza, drinks, 20 for one kid, 35 for two. 120 minutes of playtime, and we'll do little Easter egg hunts and like in a modified, fun way in the air conditioning. And also, your kids are safe so they can elope. And those are a lot of fun because I've some one kiddo doesn't like to ride. Another thing, the social norm. You think most kids would ride on a carousel, but this kiddo, I like will hold him and we'll go around twice. I'm like, yay! And then we get off. And mom's like, he doesn't like it. Like, it's progress. He rode two times. He rode around twice. And so it's just really giving parents that support there. And another example at Chuck E. Cheese, the kiddo decided we don't want the pizza. So we threw it on the ground. And mom's like, I'll throw it away. And I was like, no, he will throw it away. And so I had him, this we prompted him, like, this is picking up our pizza. We don't want it. We put it in the trash. And that's just something a lot of parents wouldn't think about. Like, let me just pick it up because my kid made a mess or whatever. It's like, let's teach him how to do that. And another parent there was like, just keep at it. That's how it is. And eventually they'll learn how. So their brain doesn't really, like I said, social norm. I'm just gonna throw it on the ground. So giving them opportunities at places like Chuck E. Cheese and teaching, like showing the parents, like, look, he can do it. Like, you just have to teach him how, and that's abnormal because we expect you to just throw it in the trash. So those events like that are important, and people are worried about meltdowns or things like that. It's like, don't be embarrassed. Like, I'm here to help you, and these other parents understand. Like, this is how you do it. So creating those opportunities for parents to feel safe and learn, like, oh, that's what you do. And then,
Yeah.
that's March 1st. March 28th, we're having an event, and it's going to be in Plano, but it's going to be like an appreciation for people that work in the mental health, ABA teachers. Be March 28th, and on the time set, but follow me and follow her page, and I'll keep you updated. And that's just to show our appreciation and to see how we can come together and help each other and help the community. We're putting together a resource book for parents because
Mhm.
it's very, I don't know if you or anyone has ever been in a crisis, whether it's with mental health or your child, and you go down that Google rabbit hole, find something
Mhm.
that's a dead end and you feel you're already overwhelmed, you're at your ends with, whether it's like with your mental health or help for your kid, it's a lot of work. So we're networking with different people and we're already putting together a resource book. So that way, like a directory, so parents can have something to look at. And we already on there will have like what insurances are accepted by this place. Is it
Mhm.
self-pay? That kind of thing. And then our big events, April 11th. Stay tuned, save the date. It's going to be Celebrate Autism, and it's going to be from 11 to 3. We're going to have different vendors. We're going to have snow cone machines, cotton candy machines, popcorn, a foam machine, potentially a bounce
Mhm.
house. We're watching the weather for that. So a good way for the kids to have a good time and also have different vendors that may be a resource. Like we're gonna have a chiropractor there to talk to the parents. We're gonna have raffles. We have like 60 raffle giveaways. And oh, also it's free. We're gonna have pizza, cupcakes, goldfish, all the snacks, you name it. It's a big free event just to celebrate autism. I like to describe it as like a fall festival, but it's like an
Mhm.
autism festival. So it's gonna be a really good time. And I want everyone to come join if you want to participate, be a vendor. Donate or volunteer your time, anything, or just come out and please bring your family. We want everyone in DFW to come out because yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Sounds like a lot of fun, actually. We might bring our grandson there actually to hang out, or a granddaughter too, because I just might bring him all. We'll just never know, depending on which grandkids we have. So, for everybody, if they want to volunteer, is there a website or some phone number that they can contact?
Yes, you can either follow me any all social media, Raave RAAVE DFW, or my website, which is www.ravedfw.org. and ways to give. And then there's like a donate button, volunteer, and then also there's a contact us form on there as well. So you can contact, reach out, and definitely I'd love to have volunteers and to let you know our volunteers. We do kind of go over briefing and training and see if it's a good fit and find something for you. I know I have one volunteer. His mom reached out to me, he has autism, and we found like what he can do. So there's always something for you to do, whether it's running a station, whether it's setting up, clean up, being a busy bee, we always have something for you to do. Like, please come join us and bring the whole family. It's not just for kiddos that have autism. Bring your kid with autism and their siblings. Bring your cousins too. It's just for the kids to come out and have a good time. And, again, spread awareness, get that exposure. Typical kids can see kids with autism and vice versa. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be awesome.
I
I'm
love
really
that.
excited.
I love that for you. I'm going to be praying many blessings for your organization because number one, you're meeting the need that a lot of people don't have right now, which is why I really want your organization to flourish. Because this is something that they need. This is something that families just need to embrace as a resource. And there was something you did say about providing, a booklet of resources for people in DFW and because you do go down that Google rabbit hole and you end up with a lot of dead ends and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's going to be a great resource to be passing out to people as well. So
Right. So I forgot to mention that we will be doing, I have a book coming out, and it's going to be a super thinker series, and it's going to be different scenarios, from the point of view with children with autism, whether it be like a grocery store, a birthday party. And so this one's going to be at as I can say, it's going to be like an ice cream shop and the world how children with autism or teenagers with autism see the world truly from their perspective to like help raise awareness and understand what they're looking at, like the different textures, the tiles, and why they may have a meltdown and what they may need. So I'm really, really excited about that project. And I never thought that I would be writing a book. I never wanted to be an author, but I want to spread awareness and I saw the need, and the idea came from I saw a meme that was like, if the hungry caterpillar had autism, and that's kind of funny. And I was like, wait a minute, there aren't any books to show from the point of view of children or people with autism, so let's give it a go.
mhm.
So I'm really excited that should be coming out, and then we're gonna keep rolling them out. So
Yeah, I love that. So we're actually going to follow up with you on your book series. So when that comes out, then we're going to talk about a little bit more in detail. But please, everybody, please go support her channel because she's like really doing this big thing. Go support her organization. She is supporting the autism awareness in the community in DFW. So if you are out there, if you are listening, please, 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 please go support her and go to her events because they're gonna be fun. Bring all your kids. It's gonna be great.
please come. It's so fun. And thank you for allowing me to come on your platform and once again spread awareness because the more families, the more people that we can reach is the goal at the end of the day. Like, I am one person, but you have your platform and you can share, share, share. And yes, please like and follow just because your like and follow could help somebody out. And, at the end of the day, I want these children to be functional members of society and give them access to those opportunities and supporting the parents. So thank you all and thank
Absolutely.
you so much.
You're very welcome. It's a true pleasure. Thank you so much.